This is weird. I kind of like it. I've played Klothys more than pretty much any commander. I think it can do a bunch of interesting things. It's kind of hard to kill. I don't even know if I've ever actually played one with just a bunch of creatures and tried to swing with it. That seems like the least interesting thing to me. So that still applies here today. I think red green win conditions is interesting. Like we have sneak attack, defense of the heart, Godo helm. Um, I guess you could say Mizzix's mastery. There's sometimes people just concede when you cast this because it takes forever to stop doing things. Not always the case though. I don't know about the fire crystal or really the green one. I don't have the green one in here, but maybe the medallions are just good enough. There could be something with Burgi and Steamkin here. I kind of feel like that's not true, but I'm willing to try at least. There's Scape Shift with what is it? What did we get? We got a shoot. I clicked the craft button, so I lost them. Valakut is in the game now, so you can Valakut people with enough mountains, and also Thespian Stage Dark Depths to make a 2020. You copy this card, you copy Dark Depths with Thespian Stage, you keep Thespian Stage and get rid of this one because it's a legendary. And then the legendary version of Dark Depths that's in play, that is the Thespian Stage copy, doesn't have counters, and then it just makes 2020, so that's just something you can do. Actually, because of that, I probably want Omen, whatever it's called. Yeah, Omen Path Journey, because it doesn't only find basics. It's reasonable. Yeah, we're gonna take out the Steamkin. This is only red spells. I don't know. I put it in here early, and now that I've finished making it, I feel like it's not really doing much. It's also very unlikely to do anything twice. So at that point, just cast, I don't know, another Rampant Growth into the north or something. Ren in 6 is kind of interesting too, maybe, because you can sort of spam it if you get to the ultimate. Oh, well, you have to get to the ultimate for it to matter. I don't know. Red green something storm with the ramp package and other things sprinkled in there. Surely one of these cards will win. We'll find out which one. We'll try to get every single kind of victory at least once. Return to a creature or land from your graveyard. Oh. Well, that's ideal. Was this Force of Negation? Ah, well, that's something. Spell Pierce? I guess that one. Well, let's do this on the land. Do we counter this? Apparently we do. They countered that instead of the other card. I'm not really sure why. I feel like this was about the same? Functionally, yeah. More or less. Discard a card, exile top 2 cards, may play them this turn. Okay. I guess I'll just not discard Sneak Attack. Wait, what? What does this do? Whenever you draw what? What? Okay. Interesting. So yeah, let's do... Actually, you know what? I kind of just want to play my commander and still play mana. Yeah, we can just chill, I think. Interesting decision. My opponent's milling me, so not terribly concerned about that. I guess I'll just try to kill him with damage. It is for a turn. Safe to say Sneak Attack's not doing much. Oh, well, I didn't anticipate that as a potential outcome. That's funny. No treasure for us. Yeah, there's no exile yet, so Emrakul's is just a thing. But yeah, I did miss the Gilded attack there. Oh, I missed the Klothys attack too, yeah. Wow, I missed like, infinite damage. Well, it feels like Cyclonic Rift River's Rebuke at this point. Always a good place to be against a blue deck. Yeah, we're just gonna keep the damage going. I'm gonna go straight to combat. Yeah, I'm gonna go straight to combat. I mean, if you're gonna bounce something, just bounce the dragon. Not quite what I would have done, but it is what my opponent did. 1, 2, I don't have enough. I could do the Dark Depths thing. It's difficult to interact with it. Wait, where's Thespian Stage? Oh, we got milled. It must have gotten milled. It's not in here. Alright, never mind then. We'll just get Valakut and Cavern. I don't really need Cavernous Souls, do I? I kind of refuse to believe I do. Yeah, let's just go the deal damage to you with infinite lightning bolts that you can't really interact with route. I'm not sold I have to get Cavernous Souls. I don't think Klothys even matters. So, also they would have to counter it for Cavern to matter in the first place. Okay. Well, that's an incredibly good card here, but is it good enough? These two cards are nuts, especially as the only thing that mills. I haven't seen another card that does that. It's very, very strange. Very strange. I could just get Dark Depths and slowly tick it away. No, that's goofy. Like I said, mountains. Oh, look at those! Look at those Valakut triggers. Oh, it takes me back. It takes me back. I don't think it's Mill Gretchen. I just think they just happen to have these two cards in here. I highly doubt my opponent is relying on these two cards as ways to win the game. It's probably just like this side plan that might sometimes do something. Oh, they countered one of the things. I don't think that's enough, is it? No, it's not enough. Alright. Well, yeah, they were the typical Gretchen list. They just had two strange cards in it. Really don't know why it does. I guess you can just use it to target things over and over. Maybe that's the logic. You can just literally use it to target. Alright, the only reason you ever play this is if you have a removal. Oh, they don't have a removal spell. Wow. They took the Ruby Medallion? What? Okay. Yeah, sure. Why would you take that? Huh. Maybe I don't get something. Well, I'm gonna eat the thing they discarded, I guess. Let's just play, we can just get a forest, I think. Just run this out real quick. I can't say I'm terribly concerned about Tybalt, so if that's what they're blitzing towards, go for it. They got removal and sneak attack. Alright, sure. Alright, well, I can't imagine sneak attack really does much for my opponent, but we've seen crazier things. Let's take the time warp, I guess. Let's play this thing. Let's do this here. It's probably wrong to swing it to the bolt, I feel. What does it do? Alright, I'll just force the issue. I'm just gonna swing at it. We'll just kill it. If it's the only thing my opponent does next turn, I cannot fathom that that's a thing that's gonna matter too much. Yeah, interesting. Cormella's a combo deck. I do chew the graveyard a little, but not like in a super fast manner that I feel this deck would be concerned about. But I guess it does something, maybe. There is an argument to flaring Llanowar Elves. We'll see how impactful it is that I probably will not be doing that. If it... Yeah, maybe I should. Okay, I drew a land. I feel less bad now. If I didn't have a land, I probably would. If I didn't draw a land right there, I mean. Now I can just do nothing for a turn. Yep. Surprise, surprise. Oh, look. Best case scenario for the opponent. Amazing. Four. Five. Nope, it's not enough. Okay, cut down, reanimate Dark Ritual. Crazy stuff. One, two, three, four, five. Ugh, still not enough. Let's sack the original. 5. That doesn't do anything. Oh wow, they took Helm of the Host. That's funny. I didn't expect that. I also didn't expect them to just do nothing. So that's interesting. I think I'll just lead with this. All the mountains are probably giving up the surprise potential thing I am clearly displaying as an out here. Well, I have Thespian Stage in play, so that's pretty cool. I can actually just play this and not do anything else. I don't play Klothys. Now there's a 2020, they have to deal with this 2020. It would be kind of crazy to turn this around from the opening cards my opponent played. There's no combo card in the graveyard. Okay. Still technically no combo card amongst all of these cards. But with 4 mana, 5, 6, 7, 7 mana, something can happen. 8, 9. Nine mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's 8. They did not kick the consult. They could have done that. They also didn't have to exile a Braid. Could have just kept that in the graveyard, I feel. Is there any reason to make a second 2020? It's a legendary, isn't it? Alright, you cannot do that. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No spell currently deals with the 2020. So they are forcing the issue, though. Okay, maybe they're not forcing the issue. So let that go. This doesn't matter, so just float a green. Oh, come on, man. Gotta be kidding me. After all that, now to suffer even further. Well, now I have to make the 2020, so... There it is, in all of its glory, just to be Cyclonic Rifted. I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No way. Cody, you're playing so fast. What happened? Did you lose? I think our opponent's upset. Oh no. Oh no, you didn't win. But you clicked so many things. You Mystics Mastery for like a bajillion cards. Most people would concede at this, actually, probably. Oh no. I know, it's hard. It's hard. Yep. Took him to Butthurt Town. Get Schmieded. Yeah. Alright, well, Thespian Stage and Valakut, Dark Depth and Valakut, both had something to do with the win in this game. That's actually kind of cool. Okay. Oh, look, an unkillable ramp spell. Wow. Off to a great start. I have nothing now? Yeah, I kind of have nothing. I've probably actually already lost this game, to be honest with you. Yep, I think I've already lost. 5. It's a -2? It is a -2. So maybe I'm back in it. I don't have high hopes, though. I can just kill Grist with a lightning bolt, but I'd rather it just get stuck at 1 loyalty. I can just kill it at any point in the future as well, honestly. Yeah, I don't really care about it plussing randomly. Opponent just randomly reanimates a 9/9. That is all it is. It doesn't have reach or anything, but it is the largest thing in play. So, Pock into Rage, into hopefully don't die. I have to kill the Molt Tender. That is a 2-turn clock. It is a lot of damage. The One Ring is probably good here. I can't really tap it, though. That might just be fine. We shall see. I think I will tap it anyway. Yeah, we should tap it here. Really, 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 really wanted a land. Didn't get one. I don't think I could possibly find one now. Do I have to cast Klothys here? Yeah, we probably should cast this, actually. And then, again, have to kill this. Or it's a good idea to kill this stupid Molt Tender, so they don't have 5 mana. Or more mana. Is that a... That was a Baroglyph, alright. Let's take out the Molt Tender they love getting over and over. I don't think stopping the Queen is going to really get there. Let's do this. Mountain. This. Play this as well. Actually, let's just go to attacks. Let's cast... Yeah, we're gonna cast this. I want yet another blocker, so this just seems like the best way to do that. Okay. that takes out the One Ring? Shouldn't it take out the One Ring? Or do they think it's going to deal with too much? Alright, well they just gave up. I did not expect to win this on the play Kami or whatever. Or, no, not on the play, but... Well, sometimes that happens. Very random assortment of cards. Sometimes it gets there. Yeah, it triggers off your own graveyard. The arena would have killed them? No, because then I don't have a blocker. Block, block. Oh! So if I block, block, get rid of that. But I'd have to keep that. 1, 2, 3, then boom. 2, 1. Yep. No, their commander has lifelink. Never mind. Doesn't work. Almost made me feel bad. But I had to shut you down. Oh look, it's the best green card in the game. No way. Was there a commander in the graveyard still? Wow. Where was I? Alright, yep, nope. I just don't know how to play Magic. That wasn't evident. Oops. You're right. We threw. We threw. Do I play Klothys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. Or we potentially threw. I don't know what was in my opponent's hand, but we potentially threw. Okay, why did they pick up the worst thing possible? Cast a creature spell. They picked up easily, like, the worst thing to pick up in this spot by, like, a landslide. There's just no way on earth you should have picked this up. I mean, you could have swung with the cub and M-webbed the cub instead. Yeah, that was a huge mistake. I didn't know you. That was a huge mistake. Okay, so what's in play that's making me... creatures with power less than spaghetti... Alright, that's fine. Alright, do I have Ulamog mana? Is this over? The old hard cast Ulamog with Seething Song Goldspan Dragon. Well, they didn't concede, so... must be an answer to Ulamog. This doesn't really look like an answer to Ulamog. I'll tell you right now, opponent, you're probably not racing Ulamog. So they're gonna make an effort of it. Okay. There is 1 mana in play. We can do 6 damage. So I guess I'll just kill their commander again. This is 9. Yep. Well, this is their last turn. 9. You'd have to play 3 creatures, which is just impossible. So, I think we got there. Alright, well, it's the Moon Mist deck. I've only seen it flip with Moon Mist, never in any other way. I think this is the same person, too, from last time. It's like the only person playing this. They discovered the correct, like, 99 to always have Moon Mist in, like, the shuffler or something. We can just play Klothys. Another land? Nah, we have Ice Till Explorer. Oh, love to see that. Okay. They didn't go for the commander. The Great Divide. Let's eat that, I guess. Let's play a Tali. Because why wouldn't you? just what the doctor ordered. Mana dorks. Alright. Yeah, I've had Goldspan a lot, I have noticed. I discovered the exact 99 permutation it always puts in your hand. Alright, they didn't draw Moon Mist, so they lose on the spot. Sounds about right. Most green decks would be the ones to grab Feel the Dead the most, and they would care the least. So, Feel the Dead is just fine. I would not be blown away if they gave it to us back or something at some point. Same with Agent of Treachery. I'm just not really blown away with that card's text box, honestly. Oh my... tapped it. Why? Why? Why did it tap the Delighted Halfling? Come on, game. Ay, ay, ay. They just didn't tap the Delighted Halfling. Come on. That is so annoying. Am I screwed because of that? No. I feel a bit screwed, but I guess I have 2 mountains now. What to do? Alright, we did 2 mountains. Clearly it was worth it. I can Tooth and Nail and not Entwine, and then just Sneak Attack. They actually just have Sanctum here. That's interesting. So we can play this. We can play Rampant Growth. Getting... I think I'm just gonna get a mountain. Yeah. I don't think I need another green source. So. Yeah, we can just grab as many mountains as we want, I think. And then swing. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I sneak attack my own Birds of Paradise on their end step, I can Tooth and Nail Entwine, but that's not haste. So there's really no reason. But I could do it anyways to have more mana and... Not 7, 9... Yeah, that way I can guarantee double hasting Eldrazi. I don't think there's any enchantment shrine combo that's a problem. So I think we're just chilling. They know I have nothing with sneak attack, so they're not like super inclined to do anything about it. Yeah, they just got mana. Like, that's just fine. Like, the game's about that right now. I mean, the game is about Sanctum, but they have shown me not a Sanctum win here or anything. So. Oh, I can do it again because of the birds. Let's put the 2/2 in play. Oh, that's funny. Alright, there we go. So, let's go ahead and win. Let's go ahead and win, shall we? Yeah. Tajik or Animpakal. Or Annabelle. Arabelle, whatever. Well, this is bad. Didn't want to see that turn 1. At least I can keep up, I suppose. I can kill I did play a fetch land, so that's annoying. Well, it's way less annoying if they had a land anyways. Yeah, it's way less annoying. Enters, return target creature with value mana 1 or less. Alright, now at this point there's no killing. Oh, they don't have a land. Alright, I'm going to demand you have a land. I'm going to demand it. And also ramp at the same time to justify the play in the first place. They have to draw a land here. Okay, no land. I cannot play Pock. Let's play our commander. Right? Yeah. Play our commander. I already have Stomping Ground, so... Oh, God! I'm so bad at the game! Oh. Wait. Yeah, I'm bad. Oh. Oh my God, I'm so bad. Why do you guys watch me play? What am I doing? Alright, everything's fine. It's not fine. That was awful. Alright, we did it anyways. We did it anyways. I should have just fetched for a land and then Arboreal Grazered the Arid Archway. That's what I should have done. And then this wouldn't have tapped both the green sources. Ooh, that's the third game where I've just decided I was going to do the worst thing possible with my lands. But, yeah. Well, that's the power of Manadorks. Live by the Manadork, die by the Manadork. Nah, it wasn't really... I didn't really do anything that could get punished too hard, to be fair. To be completely fair. Escape the Wilds is good. The rest of this hand, not so much. But that's okay, because Faithless Looting makes it so it is. So we go here, we play Exploration. We play Mountain. And then I Faithless Looting away stuff. The 2020 is colorless. Valakut is colorless. So... get rid of you and you. Very unlikely either of those do anything here. Pass. We can play 2 lands next turn, and then the turn after that escape. They must have a 2, they haven't. There's also the getting to 7, or getting to 9 anyways, and just winning that way is another thing. Do we have the 4? Of course we do. Oh, wait, no, we don't. We don't. It doesn't tap for 2 mana. We have the 4 mana card, it's just not the right one. Literally throwing. What is 0? Oh, Mox Amber? Well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you ever play Mox? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I don't know what my opponent's got. Okay, let's play land. Let's play land. Molt Tender. Off of Stompies. Actually, do we play Molt Tender? Sure. And then play... Perilous? Okay, well, I mean... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No idea... Wait, what? What? Huh? Oh, it's Cornucopia. It was not what I thought it was. Alright, so there's nothing... There's no problems here, right? I don't know what they could possibly have that beats this at 9. So let's play a land. Wait, I don't have an untapped land? Well, that's annoying. Well, tender it is. Absolutely no idea what my opponent could conceivably do to beat this. There you go. Enjoy. Well, they didn't give up, so... I mean, there's no card in the game that does anything here. Yep. Get Schmied it. Too many colorless threats in my deck to consistently get beat by this, I feel. Alright, so... the Storm side of Klothys, which I love to just put in there, the Treasures, the Mizzix Mastery, the Draw Discard, the... I don't like Impulse Draw ever, really. It's not really part of anything I've ever done. All of that is just really slow, right? And at this point, it's just insanely slow. Most of those cards are outshined by their green equivalent to the point where it's hard to justify any of them. I never really Stone Rain scammed anyone. The only reason I like this is because you can play it on turn 2. Thought about making Golos? I don't think Golos is Smooth Brain. I don't think Golos is Smooth Brain at all. Golos is one of the most modular commanders in the game. That's why I got banned in EDH. It's just the best Eldrazi commander, the best Sliver commander. There's a ton of different ways you can play Golos. It's probably my... well, at least my top three free. Yeah, top free. It's actually not free. It's banned. It's in prison. But the top 3 commanders, I love Golos. I don't think Golos is Smooth Brain. I mean, I don't think any deck is actually Smooth Brain. If they were going to go really, like, you don't have to think about anything, it's probably some aggro deck. I suppose it's easy to play Scythus, because it just plays itself. Aggro kind of just plays itself. Keenan sort of plays itself. You just keep a viable hand and then just cast Mana Dorks and win. So I think Golos is one of the more thought-provoking ones, I would say. I'd say so. I mean, it's still doing anything you want it to do. It was, 5 colors. It could be all sorts of things. But anyways, I mean, yeah, I could play Golos again. I like Golos. It's tier 1. This is a cool effect still. Like, Klothys' ability is just fine. I gave it Devotion a few times. It's not really something I normally do when I play Klothys, and I didn't really do it here too much, but I liked it still. It got some new cards. I like you just have a bunch of random win conditions in here, and eventually one's going to get there. It's just bound to happen. Even against stuff like Ujin, there's just colorless threats. Like, no Ujin deck is going to beat these cards. Actually, they can beat Valakut. Never mind, they can beat Valakut. But like Dark Depths is just hard to beat as Ujin. But this, you can gain too much life and then you're not be able to kill them. They won't die to it. But with Scape Shift, it's usually a shotgun blast there. I was playing, honestly, for way too long today. I was playing as if Valakut was only going to do damage once you had 7 mountains. In my head, that's what I thought it was. I was so hyper fixated on Field of the Dead that I thought it was the same text box. It's not. It's only 5 other mountains. It's not 7 lands. So that's essentially your 6th mountain is the one that lightning bolts people, as opposed to Field of the Dead needing more than that. So that's my bad. And there were also a couple games I just mistapped pretty egregiously. I think there was actually 3 games where I just mistapped, whether it was because I wasn't paying attention and Delighted Halfling decides every time to not tap itself for colorless because it just assumes you want the other thing, and it's destroyed me more than it should have, so that's my bad. World Soul's Rage is excellent. Chewing your own graveyard with Klothys is not excellent, especially lands. Everything else it's kind of fine to just get rid of, but eating your own lands is annoying. with Klothys. It's not bad. It is essentially a ramp spell in the command zone to a degree, but it does compete with Molt Tender. There's no Delve. We don't really have any blue. We don't really use our graveyard that much. When you lose your graveyard to one of these Eldrazi, it feels bad that way as well. So there's some things that make eating your own graveyard awkward. I think they're heavily outweighed by just simply casting ramp spells and not feeling too bad about only being able to eat your graveyard once with Klothys, like the lands or whatever. It doesn't like Mizzix Mastery, eating your own graveyard. Obviously, your opponent has a graveyard. There's a lot of times where that doesn't matter too much, so you could just do whatever anyways, and your opponent's got you covered. Just like a, what is it? Deathrite Shaman. Your opponent has you covered in the Deathrite Shaman Avenue. Mixing up my words. The mountain count could have been slightly higher. I don't think it necessarily has to be. Valakut isn't in every single game. Crop rotation might, sort of double the amount of times it's in a game or whatever. But I don't know. I didn't feel like I was color screwed ever. So it's hard to get color screwed in any green deck. And 2-colored is not a big deal. I didn't really feel like I was getting color screwed. I could have probably shaved. It would be interesting just to see how few green sources you can run to still have a essentially mono green deck function. Just like the colorless argument, how many wastes for your what's it we call it? Eldrazi, the 6-mana madness Emrakul thing. You like see how many wastes you can run just to do that, because you don't need many forests. In fact, you really only need 2, and then your deck is functional. Honestly, it's mostly functional on 1 green source, and then there you go. Some of the mountains tap for green themselves, not just the basics. It's really difficult to get color screwed. That's my point. The green, especially if you have any kind of green opener, the green will just follow into the other colors naturally, because that's what it does. So if you just have your first land be the green source, and then any ramp spell just finding the red source, you're good. Just like boom, just like that. So you definitely don't want mana rocks, because Valakut and other things that care about lands, you just don't want mana rocks in a deck like this ever. I don't really know. There wasn't anything other than having drawn Emrakul too much that bothered me in this deck. I never got a Stone Rain game. This probably should just be something else. It's just like Ragavan. You play it too fast, it does the thing, your opponent's over it. So it's like you have Ragavan turn 1, they didn't deal with it, they lose, so you're just done. You play this off of a Llanowar Elves, and they can't recover, they lose, and the game's just done. So it just like leads to these games that are not really YouTube friendly, at the very least, and obviously not a long back and forth with any one player. So it just leads to uninteresting games and uninteresting content, I guess, too. So I probably shouldn't have ran this. It's also a lot less scammy than Ragavan is, right? It is definitely less scammy than that, but they're kind of in the same wavelength, in my opinion. I don't think this is going to get removed from the format. I don't think we're losing... Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. We're not going to lose Dark Depths, or at least not anytime soon. There's sometimes it feels insane, but there's also times it just doesn't feel insane. You just played a 2020 that didn't get in. There's a lot of answers to this 2020, and I mean a lot of answers to this 2020. Valakut is a little bit more scary, but it does require quite an investment to get going, and at the point you would have the investment for Valakut to get going, I think most of your games are like your opponent has to be doing something that entire time before you got that many mountains, right? It's not like you just started the game, cast Dark Ritual, and then just won with Valakut like you can with this is a format with Entomb, Reanimate, Dark Ritual. I think Valakut is fine. I don't think it's going anywhere. You could probably play Mox Amber. This is hard to kill. Not a lot of legendaries in here, but like this is, once it's in play, it's kind of just chilling. So Mox Amber is okay, I guess. It's not bad. More lands might have been fine. I was wishy-washy about Arid Arcway, but I ended up adding it finally near the end there with, what is it? Map the Frontier that finds a desert. Yeah, so like I think this is okay, especially with a Boreal Grazer. Actually, especially, yeah, super especially. Burgeoning Boreal Grazer, Kami, and Exploration. Yeah, Exploration. So, bounce lands are just solid. I didn't have, like, Lotus Cobra, Scute Swarm nonsense in here. You probably could put those in here, probably. Seize the Spoils was kind of a relic of a different idea. It could be something else, too. I do like Seething Song. This is nice. I really like this card. It is a little weird. It's only red mana, but that's kind of just okay. It is Dark Ritual. It's the same thing, except it happens later. But I do like Seething into Goldspan Dragon, or Atali, or really anything. It's not like you don't have any other mana to tap, so you could obviously cast something more than 5. But for exactly 5, Goldspan is pretty nice. It's not like the best thing, honestly. Like 1, 3, 5 without Seething Song is fine anyways, so just Llanowar Elves Cultivate Goldspan is the same thing. Less explosive there. This is not super necessary, but I still like it. It's definitely not necessary, though. I tried the Bane... Well, I didn't try it, but thinking about the Banefire lines are a little weird. This is kind of already what that would be with more text on it. So if you do like the just ramp and then cast a giant Banefire for 25 idea, it's kind of already in this card, and I really like this card a lot. So, unless you're never gonna kill someone with 25 damage, all right? You know, I wouldn't, I wouldn't try to do that. I probably could have removed one of these, but I don't know. I really do like 2. I did see an odd amount of mill cards today. None of them milled these. The milling most games when you're just like sprinkle milling doesn't matter anyways, and nobody tried to like mill me for 500 or something. But like random mill with these, it's not gonna get there obviously, and it doesn't get there anyways. But apart from that, these do make you lose your graveyard if they hit the graveyard, which means Klothys is a little upset. And so too is your Molt Tender and your Icetill Explorer. Anything that wants to get those lands out of the graveyard can now no longer do that. It's a little annoying, honestly, when that happens. Especially when you're playing stuff like Faithless Looting, and then what are you going to discard? You're going to discard your, Mythweaver Pawk, or are you going to discard Emrakul with your turn 1 Faithless Looting, or your turn 3 Faithless Looting? It's probably going to be Emrakul, and then you lose your Faithless Looting. So, a little annoying. Man, I'm slurring my words all over the place today. Oh my goodness. I'm sober, I swear. Alright, well that's it. I really like Klothys. You don't have to convince me to play it all the time. I just think the commander is really cool. It's like the red-green thing that isn't just play 1-drop, 2-drop creature, 3-drop creature, 4-drop creature, 5-drop creature, swing. It's kind of just doing really its own thing, and it's been like that for a while now, actually. This is... Man, I was looking at all the lists I have. It's like, we played 1 year ago, played 2 years ago, 3 years. All the lists are fairly different, all over the place. I mean, like a Voltron Klothys deck I played at some point. I don't know. I just like this commander, so... Let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will be back again once more with more these ideas. Get out of here. What is this? What are these words in my chat? Made on Arena, you run nearly no interaction. Cards are mostly... and then ramp. Well, yeah, that's just the... yeah. You appreciate my content? How come my dad doesn't say that? Where is he? Where's my dad? Thank you, by the way, before I ramble about a funny joke. Yeah, I've said this a few times. I said that a few times about you don't have to play interaction because Llanowar Elves is... this is just your interaction. You just play this card and your opponent has to answer it or they're falling behind. So your opponent is demanding, like, well, you're demanding the answer to your cards, and that is better than not doing that. Like, this is functionally, in the philosophy of how the format operates, just better than its aggro equivalent, because it does the aggro thing while also doing way more than that. I can't think of the best aggressive one-drop that isn't Ragavan. I don't know. Beaumont Courier could... No, not really. There's that 1/2 mouse, I think. That's like a super... Well, whatever. Any beater, Monastery Swiftspear, let's say. Any beater is like, the only thing it does is damage. Whereas this can, well, also do damage and block and stuff. It also just is more mana, and then you can find bigger things to ignore the cheap damage dealing thing your opponent is doing. So it puts your opponent in a position to deal with it, which then tempos them, because then they had to spend mana to do it. And then they might be slower. So now the aggro deck had to take time off to kill your stuff, and then now their stuff isn't in play because they had to spend mana to Lightning Bolt. Yeah, these are just better than it seems there. Alright, I'm out of here. Get out of here. Oh, I gotta find 2 cards to upload. Oh no,